Hey YouTube, it's Justin. Today this video is about how do you know when you're ready to expand your trucking business and a couple steps that you need to do kind of before you get that. We're going to talk about, I had some guys ask me on the live stream about how to expand and how to get trucks financed. Truck financed will be its own separate video. That will be later, but we're going to talk about expanding and how you go kind of about expanding. This is how I did it. I'm not saying that you have to do it this way, but this is the way that I did it, so I thought I would share this information. Because a lot of people want to know, how do you go from one truck to fucking a fleet of trucks? And that is based all on the individual, okay? It's not really it's about what do you want, not about what anybody else wants. How much pain are you willing to put yourself in, okay? That's what I mean by that is when you go from a single truck fleet or even a 2-truck fleet to a 9 or 5 or fucking 15, 20, 25, how much pain are you really, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to that number, okay? And to get to where you want to be. Alrighty? Whew. Okay, so let's talk about when you want to expand, how do you go about that, okay? Now, how I did about it is I was in business for, I don't know, about 2 or 3 years. I was well established, not well established, but I was established enough to where the logistics coordinators liked me. We had a good relationship, okay? And I'm always looking to expand where I could go. Okay, now for me, luckily, one thing that happened is that one of the foremans that I worked with every day, he went to a new company that was going to be taking on asphalt and grindings for the very first time. They wanted to expand their business, so they needed trucks. So he called me and gave me about a 3-month heads up that, hey, I'm going to be going over here, I'm going to be doing this, they're going to need trucks, your name is at the top of the list. So I said, okay. So I went over there, I talked to that guy. We developed a great relationship right off the bat. Like, you know, I filed my paperwork on a Friday. He started working my trucks the Monday, even though just to get me going. So I was like, oh my God, this company's going to expand. The other company the other 2 companies I'm working for wanted more trucks from me. Okay. And the reason I think they may have wanted that is, A, my shit's on time. I had decent drivers. I never really missed very many shifts. We didn't have very many breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell you, I blew an engine on my Cummins at midnight, okay? And it ran, I mean, we did an out-of-frame in it in 4 days. Wednesday night, it went to haul asphalt. So that's because I'm fucking motivated and I'm ready to put in some pain, okay? That's kind of how you got to go about it. You got to kind of think about, like, hey, dude, okay, infrastructure yourself. If you know you want to be a single truck fleet and you're a single truck guy now, but you want to go to multiple, start buying stuff that you know you're going to need. Extra tires, tools. You got to be able to work on this shit. Start stacking up that stuff. Start getting yourself a good base, because when it becomes time that if you're like me, you're running trucks 24 hours a day, you got 2 hours to fix shit. You gotta have parts, pieces, all that shit here, okay? Now, this is just for me. This is the way that I think about it. If you want to expand to a multi-truck fleet, try to buy all of the same trucks. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you everything. Have them kind of all set up the same. That means the same rim size on it. The same, if you run 24.5s on your truck, make sure you buy a truck with 24.5s on it. So you don't have to have multitudes of different shit to have here. You kind of got it stocked up. But maybe that's getting out on a different tangent. But to expand, you got to, you got to be in a good position first. Okay? That means that, hey, the logistics coordinators are asking you got any extra trucks? Can you give me one over here? Can you start running some night shift? Okay, and then you're going to run into a problem like, how do I get employees? Okay, well, first of all, I kind of have a theory on how to get employees, and it kind of seems work for me. Try to figure out how to offer them benefits. I went to, instead of just my accountant lady handling payroll, I went to a payroll company. I went to a big enough company so I can get health insurance for my guys. That seemed to help a lot of people like that. Even though they bitch that it's fucking expensive, work a Saturday, fuckhead. I don't know what to tell you. It'll pay for itself. That's one thing I did, is went to a payroll type company. And there's a whole bunch of different companies out there in your area. You just have to find one or ask around to the other truck people that have it. Hey, do you guys use a payroll company or something like that? Try to find something like that. Now on hiring employees, this is the theory that I go about. And it's probably a dumb theory, but I overpay and underexpect. Okay? That means that you got to pay them to get them in the door. Let's say if the going rate in your area, is 25% or 27%, pay a percent better to start. Okay? And say, hey, in 90 days I'll reevaluate you. You haven't missed any days. You ain't fucked nothing up. All right, bump him up. You also have to think about yourself as the business owner. Remember, you're going to get your money in a long-term thing. If you're thinking, like I've said before, you're going to go out and buy a boat with all this money you're going to make, that's fucking stupid. Okay? Don't do none of that shit. Don't start banging a fucking new 25-year-old bar whore that you met at the fucking bar and fuck up where you got to pay all this money to your wife. It's fucking stupid. I've seen it happen a million fucking times. Okay? Be focused on what you want to do. That's the biggest thing. Like, I'm focused on this. Like, I focus maybe too much of my time. Okay? But I'm trying to get it to a point that I could be a little more hands-off. And that's going to take time because I keep expanding faster than I can keep a core group of guys. And that's kind of what we're working on now. We're just in between, we got a bunch of new guys and, some experienced guys and some kind of those ones right in the middle where they think they know what the fuck they're doing, but they really don't. And, that takes time to get to where they're kind of self-employed. But the biggest thing is know what type of work you want to do, know who to talk to get to that. If you're already running a truck, you kind of got a good in, you know what I'm saying? And focus on one thing. If I focus on just the dump truck part of it. I don't want to go out and get dump trailers and you're running this shit over here. You're fucking, now you want to move heavy equipment, you're moving this shit over here. You're going to spread yourself too thin. So kind of focus on one thing, figure out, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to expand my business. What are the things that I need to do? Okay? Things you need to do, start asking the people that you work for, or start venturing out and finding out if there's new people to work for. That's important to get yourself over there. You know what I'm saying? And just remember, if you're a decent human being, other people will want to come to work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the way that I do it. This happens to me all the time. People come here to work for me. They call me an asshole. They think they can make more money somewhere else. They go somewhere else 6-7 months. Guess who comes crawling back on their hands and knees? Man, could you give me a job back? Like this other place, they fucking lied to me. I'm just not making that, what they told me they were going to do. Yeah, because they suckered you to get you in the door. So don't lie to your employees because it'll come back and bite you in the ass. You have 9 trucks out there, but no drivers, it ain't going to work. But you got to have work before you buy trucks. So just remember, infrastructure yourself, very important. You can kind of see how I did that. Oh, here's another thing. Figure out if you have enough place to park all the trucks that you want to buy. Or you got to try to find a building or some place to go. That's important. Don't worry too much about you being, going out and driving every day. At some point, you have to get out of the truck and say, I got to focus on A, expanding this business, and B, keeping all the junk running. Okay? Now a lot of people are going to say, they're going to have questions in the comment sections. Should I buy new trucks or should I buy old trucks? That is strictly up to you. I can't make that decision for you. It's how big your bankroll is and all that stuff. We'll get into that maybe in the truck financing video. I'll kind of tell you how to work the banks a little bit to get you multiple trucks fucking at one time, because I've got pretty good at it. But anyway, that's how I went about expanding, is just slowly working on it. I didn't come in and after my first year, I'm buying 9 trucks. It's not going to work. I added one the next year, and I wanted to add one every year. Just 2017 or 2018. Well, what are we in? 2019? Yeah, okay. So 2017 just wasn't a good year to add another truck. I couldn't find one. I knew that I wanted to get away from older equipment and go into all new equipment. That helps driver retention. It helps attract drivers when you have nice, shiny trucks, even though they'll fucking destroy them, but it gets them in the door. Ooh la la, very important. You know what I'm saying? So just things like that. But it's kind of how I did it. Also, a little bit of luck came into it. Somebody motivated me to expand. They told me I could do it. Never think that you can't expand. If somebody tells you no, just fucking work harder. Never take no for an answer in this shit. Don't do that. Don't quit. There's many times that, I just stopped looking for trucks because I didn't know how to get one financed. I didn't know how to expand. And somebody, showed me, like, dude, you are on the right track to expanding. You've got yourself ready to start running more trucks. And his exact words were to me is, you can buy as many as you want. How much pain are you willing to go through to get to that point? How much are you willing to fucking give up to get to where you want to be? And, I can't, that's something for you. But finding work is pretty easy. If you're reliable and all that stuff, people will give you work. Just remember, infrastructure yourself, try to figure out how to have good drivers, get you a payroll company lined up, something that can do the HR and all that type of stuff. So all you have to do is send them what the stuff is, and you should be fine. And we'll go into the next video of this series is how to get trucks financed, because a lot of people want to know about that, and it's difficult. So, like always, check out the Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, all that jazz. I will tell you, if you guys, I got to figure out how to do some type of mentorship. So, what I'm thinking about is that for guys that want to, talk to me for an hour, bounce ideas off of an hour, I'm trying to figure out, because I'm not as busy driving a truck, so I got some time during the day to talk to you guys if anybody has any questions. The biggest thing is you want to email me. Email me and say, hey, I'm interested in this, and then, we'll figure out how, I think I need to be, a couple guys have paid to talk to me, and I kind of like that idea, like, hey, they wrote me, hey, can I get an hour of your time? This is what I kind of want to do, and then I gave them a number, like, hey, this is how much it costs an hour for me to fuck around, or, just help out. So if you guys have any questions about that, like mentorship, just email me, okay? And that email address for this type of stuff, you want to use Justin Sturgill Trucking at yahoo.com. All one word, spelled like Justin Sturgill Trucking. If you want to email me and talk about that type of stuff, always willing to help guys get set up. Even if you have like, hey, I'm looking at these trucks, what should I be picking out and stuff like that. I've helped a couple guys. They seem to be real happy with what I told them to go to, and things like that. But like always, thanks for watching, and I gotta fucking go.